What will you experience at a Knock 'em Dead comedy murder mystery show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And of course, some music. Knock 'em Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
You have a great night or what? Good.
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knock 'em Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
You have a good time tonight or what?
Lisa Lampanelli, how about it?
You had a great time. Richie! KDC! That's what I'm talking about! Yeah! All right!
Fundraisers, private parties,
Hollingshead,
corporate
how
events,
about it?
restaurants, and more.
Rick Overton.
Contact Knock 'em Dead
Rick
Comedy for your
Overton.
event today.
Mr. Joey Cola.
The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527.
What will you experience at a Knock 'em Dead comedy murder mystery show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And of course, some music. Knock 'em Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
You have a great night or what? Good.
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knock 'em Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
Had an awesome time.
All right. You had a great time. KDC! That's what I'm talking about! Yeah! All right!
Fundraisers, private parties, corporate events, restaurants, and more. Contact Knock 'em Dead Comedy for your event today.
first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knock'em Dead Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
Anyway. Hi, everybody. It's Friday, and Andy's dancing. Welcome to the Knock'em Dead Comedy Podcast, coming at you on Gov's Comedy Club's Twitch channel. Thanks for watching. Please share our show all over your social medias. We appreciate the support. And it's nice to see you. I had to cancel on you last week. I feel really bad about it.
I feel bad, actually, because stump pain is no joke.
No, it is no joke.
And that was one of my favorite kind of earlier things that I did that Sally didn't get. Was
you used to call us the stump.
I would call us the stump the
I
first
thought it was
time.
hilarious.
Well, the first time I called us the stump because I even text you
right.
to say, hey, is it okay if I do this? Because I don't want to like upset you or whatever. And you're like, oh no, definitely do it. So I called up and I made the stump like a very French, like, hello, Sally, this is Tony Stump. I would like to say I own your man. He is subservient to me. And she did not. She was like, okay, caller. Okay, thanks. I don't understand. And like hung up on me.
Did she hang up on you?
I don't think.
Well, she hung up on everybody.
Like it was the first time that she ended up here by herself. It was the only time, I think, that she actually ended up here by herself.
Yes. And
so, like, I think Bozy tried calling in also. Like, we all were like, oh, no, poor Sally.
Right.
That we were like, oh, let's try to give her content. And then she was like...
And she was begging people to call.
Right.
And then she hung up on you.
She's like, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. I'm like, God damn it, that was a good one.
She's... For someone who worked in a comedy club, she didn't follow
well, she had her own
along
sense
with a
of
lot
humor. Everybody has their own sense of humor. I just wish that it had lined up more with mine at that point in time because I thought it was fucking gold at the time.
I thought it was funny. And yes, I do remember you texting me. Yeah.
Oh, shit, I still haven't shared this.
Dummy. Oh,
share it.
Shit.
You should too.
Yes. And speaking of, I don't know why that reminded me, but I meant to pick up a Newsday. Is Roach on? I think Roach
is in the Explorer. Yeah, I saw Laura Patton had.
I wanted to pick one up and see what it said. Shit, I totally forgot about that. Go get today's Newsday. That's, if you're not from around here, that's the local newspaper.
So in that case, then don't.
Well,
this announcement's not for you.
If you're Carol Miner in Texas, don't go get it. But Carol will know what Newsday is because she grew up here. But yeah, Roach is in what used to be called the Part 2. Is it still the
I think
Part
it's
2?
actually the Part 3. It used to be called the Part 3 because Part 2, I don't know, I haven't picked up a Newsday in years, but I know that since I've been home, that they stopped doing Part 3, which was like the super special center thing.
Right.
That was usually themed and it was only like 4 to 6 pages long.
Yeah, sometimes even less.
Or
yeah.
pages, and the Explore Long Island
Yes.
I think that's the section, which is within part 2, usually.
And then he's also on WBAB this morning.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I would have listened.
These sons of bitches, they don't come on this show anymore, but they go over there.
Go to those like
'Cause they
much
have-
wider known.
Yeah, because they have a few million more viewers than us.
That's it. It's the only difference.
Yeah, that's the only difference. You think they don't get paid to go on? You think they get paid to do that? They probably get something.
I don't know. That's
Some kinda-
actually a really good question
Like a
because I
gift
think
basket.
the main person that I know that does do BAB on any kind of regular is Tony Landolfi.
Oh, does he still?
I think he
Go there?
does because he came. Matter of fact, that was this last Monday. We had 22 people at the open mic out
That's a
by
lot
me
of
in
people.
Mount Sinai, and we had 2 headliners. We had Tony Landolfi showed up to tell a couple of things he was working on, and Roach came up. They were super quick. Unfortunately, they were towards the end. I think they were like number 18 and 19 or something like that. And I felt bad for 22. Guy named Kevin Bowman. I feel real bad for him because, like, I had to walk. I had to get the blood flowing because I was losing it.
Yeah, I bet.
And then when I went outside, smoked a cigarette, I came back in, and I saw nobody was paying attention. Like, there was like a few people up at the front paying attention to him, and I'm like, I'm not walking over there and sitting down because that's a little
Right. Yeah.
disrespectful too. But then I'm like, I can't pay attention to this guy. So I went over and started talking to Winchell and Noel Rodney Jr. and them talking about wrestling as they always do. No, it's there's a time of the night. It's like where you're like, we all give them space because they're super duper wrestling nerds.
Like Dan Barry.
No, Dan actually does wrestling, which immediately gives him way more credibility. You know, like Joe actually recently went on a cruise. A wrestling cruise.
A wrestling cruise.
Yeah. It was yeah. It's hilarious. They're great stories and unabashed, like, I went on a wrestling cruise, like it's normal.
Yeah.
So.
Fremder says they don't get paid. Yeah, got Landolfi. Joey Cola goes on BAB a lot. You know, freaking Brett, who's the producer for their morning show, he does some stuff in here.
Oh yeah.
So I'll have to ask him. I should have asked him.
F&A.
He was in here the other day. That's something I wanted to mention before. We were talking before we went on the air. We were talking about concerts and ball games and stuff. We were talking about prices, how expensive they are. Oh yeah. And so I wanted to say that to you. There's a guy that who owns a ticket broker business that's been doing some stuff in here. He did that live thing last week. He swears up and down he will beat everybody's prices. He doesn't charge fees.
Doesn't this doesn't this sound like this is these are edits from a podcast about like how he murdered the Queen of England or something like that?
I was going to bring that up, how he murdered the Queen of England. Murdered the Queen of England or not, he'll give you good prices. So I'm just ticketbash.com. Mention Gov's Comedy Club podcast, and he'll make you a deal.
Do it.
Kent Pichelle is watching.
Hey,
hello, Kent
Ken.
Pichelle. My mother, big article about Chris Roach. He's on front page.
Of Explore Long Island.
Didn't we just say that?
Echo. Let's see if it works.
Well, yeah, right. See if it comes back. Echo. She's old, so she's, she probably isn't paying attention much.
Right.
She's probably just forgetting. Like, she might even repeat that sentence in a few minutes.
Or she'll tell you later. Tony, I saw there's a big article about Chris Roach. He's on the front page of Explore. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. But at least if I ask her to save it, she'll save it for me. Because a lot of times she uses newspapers for diapers. Because, again, she's old.
Right.
So,
and
sometimes she doesn't even know. She's like a bird. She's just walking and it just comes out.
It's like those moments of deciding whether or not to get food or cat food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Ken Pichelle, that was comedic murder of the Queen of England.
No,
Yes.
no, actual.
Yeah, right. Well, it might have been comedic to him. He may have laughed when he did it.
Your mild ways have no power right now.
Big article, etc. Kissy, she says. Okay.
Aw.
Newspaper for diapers
kiss.
works when you're reading a lot of shit in the news, says Fremder.
Well, then you wouldn't want that, would you? Because it would come with shit already.
There you go.
Sorry
Well,
to apply logic. Try again.
Try again, damn it. So that we were talking about having to miss last week. I felt bad because Miguel was going to be here with us.
I've met him a couple of times, but
Yeah.
super briefly. We did not actually talk. Like, I think we just kind of like joked about something. Like, we each gave a line to make something funny.
I don't think I've ever met him. I'm not positive, but I don't think I have. So I was looking forward to that. I was looking forward to talking about his Dork Court, which is taking over the Long Island comedy scene. Well, speaking of people I've never met, this Tuesday, joining me and Hugh is Travis Grant.
I'm not going to be here. You're welcome.
Yeah.
That was just for you, Tony.
Dandy, don't apologize, says Ken Pichelle. Apply as much logic as you want. See, you can say that, Ken Pichelle, because you, like Andy, are intelligent men, where the rest of us are not.
Yeah, logic is usually funnier than you are.
Oh, my goodness.
Do you see?
The Andys are fighting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Don't get it.
there you go. See how big that is? I was telling Brandon
Lacaruba,
yesterday
yeah.
how big about your big thumbs. Brandon Lacaruba is coming back in next
sweet.
Thursday, and he's interested in joining Knock 'em Dead Comedy because I need a couple of performers.
You know what? He's a great. He's one of the people that it genuinely makes me happy when I see him.
Yeah, great guy.
Him, Dom LaMarca, Tom Crescenzo. I don't get to see them that often, but when I do, I know like they're just and Brandon just like is like a special kind of like force. Doing his own
I thought
thing,
you were
like
going somewhere else with that.
just like with the organizing the mics and the shows and whatnot. He's a it's love of the game. He has love of the game. So
Love of the game. Vicky says, "Happy Friday." Happy Friday to you, Vicky.
hey-o.
Hey, the saying isn't the funnier you are, the bigger your thumb is. It's the funnier you think you are, the bigger your head is.
The saying isn't the funnier the bigger your thumb is. The funnier you think you are, the bigger your head is.
He's being clever.
No, I don't get it.
So, so I'm looking forward to meeting Travis Grant on Tuesday.
Oh,
with
Travis is
you.
good people too.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever met him. So I'm looking forward to that. So we had to cancel last week, so I haven't seen you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, you featured
Last week, yeah.
Yeah. How did that go?
Oh, it went well, and actually, I should have asked for more time because it was for a small crowd in Ronkonkoma at this time of night they were great, and a lot of the comedians sat in because it was was not well attended, but everybody had a good time, and it also was unique in that the 6 or 7 comics that went up before me were all lower energy comics.
Oh.
Which really plays for me very well because it's not that I wouldn't say I'm high energy. It's just I make sure I have a performance level of energy.
Yeah.
Like what I
high
believe-
enough.
Right. To grab attention.
Right.
So it was nice because it was like, hey! And I got to a couple of new jokes that I got to work in, a couple of new recordings, high recordings.
You should have asked for more time. Why?
Because there's another joke that is kind of a bigger joke that I'm working on that I would love to. I mean, half of the guys on the show, half of them are from the mic, so they've heard it. But it's something that I think can become a much bigger bit that I'm actually really excited about. And Butera was the headliner. And he goes, I think Alex Bradley was the host. And it was just hilarious because he goes, I'm probably not even going to do 20. He says to Alex. Alex is like, oh, okay, whatever. And he's like, you want me to time you? And he's like, yeah, time me. Don't worry about the light, though. He did 35 minutes. Yeah, it was like I think he was he was feeling it. And the crowd, like I said, the crowd was very good. Like I've heard John's act, and there's a lot of us that have heard John's act a lot, and it sort of sometimes can be it's almost comfortable. It's a good thing to be like, all right, let's all go out, because if he's closing the show or whatever, we'll headlining. We'll all just like migrate outside and start either smoking weed or cigarettes or both. And so it's funny because then you come in and you can pick up exactly where he is.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's funny.
It's 35 minutes. And I'm like, I wanted to ask for another 5 because he's like, yeah, I'll give you 10. And he's like, but it's always like, hey, don't worry about going over.
But you were the feature.
Yeah.
Doesn't the feature get more than 10 normally?
Well, so when you have more comics like this style that I know a lot of people are not a fan of, but hey,
right,
this is reality.
All right. So then, and also when you say that you should have asked for more, do you mean prior? You don't.
Yeah, prior. Yeah.
You never, when you're up there, you don't say, hey,
no,
so
no.
can I get 5 more minutes up here?
No,
don't do that,
no,
right?
no.
Okay.
No,
I've never seen anybody do that.
No, that's I've seen it in like kind of shows like this where there's not a lot of people, and it's like, you know what? Let's treat this like, I mean, it's a show, but also like, let me try to work new stuff in,
sure,
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it went really well. Had a lot of fun, and actually that was the night that Billy and Joe had driven up to Walton. Apparently they had a really nice show, really good show, and they were driving back down, and Billy kept saying, "Hey, if you're around, when we get back, we'll hang out." I'm like, "Yeah, all right." Show ends. Me and John stay until midnight at the place just talking, and then I'm like, "All right, let me stop at Burger King." And then I sat in the Wendy's parking lot on Portland Road eating my Burger King. Then I'm like, all right, well, you know what? Let me go to 7-Eleven by Billy's house. And I'll hang out there for a little while. It's getting close to 1 at this point. Send him a text. I'm like, hey, where are you guys at? Like, oh, we're like an hour out. I'm like, all right.
I would have went home.
I think I'm going to go home. Because I just figured them coming out of the car. I know how I am, where it's just like, fire bad. Like you just want to like not be in a car, which we wouldn't have been. We would have been in Billy's house, but I finally I'm just like, and I pushed it to like, I had to say it was like 1:15, and I start driving home, and I only live about like it takes about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes between Billy and my house. And I was literally right around the corner from my house, and he texts, hey, we're 20 minutes out. And I'm like, all right, I made the right fucking choice.
Yeah.
So I'm like, another 20 minutes. So I was like,
right.
Hey, dude, don't.
But what interests me is that when you said 7-Eleven near Billy's house, you went 7-Eleven near Billy's house.
Did I?
Yeah, why did you, like everything else was white, but then you did that. Go back and watch this later.
I will.
I went to the 7-Eleven near Billy's house.
I went to 7-Eleven near Billy's house. I think that's just my.
That was different though.
What's that?
There was definitely more jive the first time. No.
Not today, Satan.
Nope. Ken Pichelle, come on, y'all. Y'all get more out of KDC and life if you can follow Fremder's logic and Andy's logic. You know what? I'm not going to argue with that. You're absolutely right.
Good luck with that.
Like how Richard Pryor blew up the comedy scene when his car exploded from smoking his crack pipe.
Thinking more antimatter touching matter. It's like fucking Event Horizon all of a sudden.
All right, I'll turn that back on. All right. Yes, I know it was you. He's telling me it was him. I know. Call me. I'll answer your call on Monday, okay? Mondays, we'll make Mondays your day. So everybody else
To call.
Yes, to call. Mondays you call. And
Start the week off right.
That way everybody else knows to tune in at 11:20. So, so opening day yesterday. Woo!
Well, I mean, the Yanks won. That's what we expect.
Not only did the Mets win, but Jacob deGrom, who left the Mets, went down to Texas. He got his ass kicked, probably his worst outing ever. So it was a double win for Mets yesterday.
No.
Yeah.
It was only a single win where the Mets won their game.
Right.
Mets fans
Yeah.
are and only a particular type of Met fan, I imagine, is happy about that. Otherwise, why care? Isn't he in the American League now?
He's in the American League, but you care because he left the Mets. He left us, so we don't want him to have success someplace else. He left.
But it wasn't like how John Tavares left the
It's
Islanders.
exactly like that.
No, it's not, because John Tavares said, "Please don't trade me." Because where the club could have gotten something in return.
Yeah, yes, you're
but
absolutely
he
right.
begged them not to, because he didn't want the stigma of being somebody who was traded.
Right.
But fuck off, you fucking piece of shit, pajama wearing motherfucker.
But it's still along the same lines. You don't leave. I mean, and he did. He wrote an open letter to the Mets fans thanking us for everything, and he tried to make it as nice as possible, which is fine and dandy. But we still don't wish him well. You left us. We want to win. We want to win with you. We wanted you to stay. You left.
Let's say the Mets win the World Series this year.
Yeah.
I tried to keep a straight face for that, and I'm sorry. But anyway, hypothetically, the Mets win this year.
More realistically, let's say the Mets give us a meaningful season, like they did last year. It was a good season. It was a fun season. It was an exciting season, and we're happy with that. So let's say we get another one of those.
Let's say it's the kind of year where Mets fans don't bring up 1986.
Well, that might be impossible.
That will never be possible. It is impossible. It's like it's a tautology. It is something that has to exist in the way that it does.
Yes.
But would you forgive Jacob deGrom? Because in theory, him leaving is the impetus of why you won.
No, that I disagree with. It's not the impetus of why we won. We had to scatter and do things to replace him.
Right, which then made you.
But we would have preferred to win with him.
No.
Yes.
That's how we were saying. Him not being there anymore.
I get what you're saying.
We're doing the logic thing.
No, I
maybe
get
the
it.
theme of today, but he's gone, and that's what actually forced you guys to do things to win.
I get it. It definitely
I
softens.
love how you're turning away from me because you're like, I don't want to not be angry at this guy who does not know who the fuck I am.
No, that's completely untrue. I don't get mad
It's
over.
not completely untrue.
It is.
It's got a lot of truth to it.
It has no
He doesn't
truth
know
to
who
it.
the fuck you are. DeGrom?
Oh, DeGrom. I thought you were talking about yourself. You were saying you're turning away. I thought you meant I was
you.
turning away from
It
you.
was you. Yeah, you were. You were like, I don't want to let go of this hate, but he's making so much sense.
No, I disagree because I don't have that much hate. Because at the end of the day, I never lose. Like, I'm not one of those guys that yell at the TV. I'm not one of those guys who's in a bad mood the next day if the Mets didn't lost and didn't make it to the postseason.
Right, your life
I'm
would
used
suck.
to it. I never lose sight that sports is just entertainment, and at the end of the day, I don't really care. So it's really not that big of a deal to me. It's more of the fun of it. It's like going to a Met-Yankee game and fighting all day with a Yankee fan.
Right.
And then when the game's over, I shake the guy's hand and say, hey, I had a lot of fun with you today. And I'll never see him again, and off we go.
I'm just going to say to Ken, no, correlation does not imply causation, but let's say, because I did have another hypothetical to answer that sort of thing, which is, what if one of the players that they had to go and scramble to get is the World Series MVP.
No,
In that case, it is causation.
It does. It does soften the blow, and you're absolutely right because if that guy,
Jesus Christ.
because if that guy is the hero, yeah, then we're like, okay, forget DeGrom, we got this guy. So it does. It does. I don't want to say soften the blow. It makes it less detrimental. But there is a part that we don't forget. But I still think he's coming back to the Mets in 3 years. I still think he'll be back.
Right.
So
Okay.
And then he'll make nice then.
And that's when he'll start actually sucking.
Oh yeah, that's why he'll be back because Texas is going to let him go. He's not going to do well there. He's going to be hurt a lot. They're going to release him, and he's going to decide, yeah, I'm hurt too much. I'm going to retire. And the Mets will say, well, yeah, come do one final year with us.
Goes to the Padres, wins Game 7 of the NCLS
Yeah.
and LCS against the Mets.
Ooh.
Padres.
That would be bad. No.
Are they
no.
still even a team?
Yes. No, to make it worse. Oh, no, the Padres are
No,
very
I know,
good team.
I know.
Atlanta. If he goes to Atlanta and then comes and beats the Mets. That would be
But that would be
bad.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Because I love the tears. Love them. They're so salty.
Hello, Kirsten. I just commented to get Andy to say more smart things. Who would have known 100-to-1 shot? I wish I could have gone back to the beginning of the season, put some money on the Cubbies. What? Why would you want? Why are you putting money on the Cubbies? If you known what? What is he talking about?
You know, I'm struck that Jeff Bosey is the Andrew Fremder of regular life.
Yeah,
It's a deep cut.
that was a deep cut, but very good. Still going with the baseball theme. Weird news coming from the Long Island Ducks.
Weird news. What happened?
They have signed former Met Daniel Murphy.
Oh wow, that was one of my buddy's favorite players.
Yeah.
And isn't he another one that went somewhere else, like the Cubs or some?
He left us. He went to the Washington Nationals.
Nationals, that's it.
And he became a Met killer. Then he went to the Rockies for a couple of seasons. Did not really do particularly well there. Then went to the Cubs for maybe one season, I think.
Right.
And then he retired. He was beat up. He was only, I think, 35, give or take, when he retired. But he had some injuries. He was having some problems with his knees, so he said, screw it, I made my money, I had my time.
Right.
So he retired. And then the Mets last year had an Old Timers Day for the first time in like 30 years, and he showed up for that. Now, all of a sudden the news comes in that he is signed with the Ducks. He's now 37, I believe, 37, 38, and he has signed with the Ducks. And then supposedly he's trying to get himself back in shape and apparently wants to make another run to get back to the majors, which I don't know. They talked about it on the Met game yesterday. This might make him the first person to ever play in an Old Timers Day game and then actually come back as a player.
Then now I'm rooting for him to do it.
It would be kind of cool.
Because like I love shit like that, the sort of peas in the eye of convention.
But I don't understand. I don't understand why he's coming back. Why did he just keep playing then? If he loves baseball so much and he wants to keep playing, well then why'd you leave?
Well, I think and I don't know, but this is what I'm going to go with, is like stump pain. Like he had stump pain, but it's not stump pain. It's called something else.
Baseball pain.
And no, just like some injury or something that like even mentally that just like he just couldn't show up and do it. And perhaps he has resolved that, or it has gone away in some kind of way, not saying that it couldn't rear its ugly head again.
Right.
And now he's saying, like, you know what? I really wish that I hadn't stopped, but I had to. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to, let me just, this is my last shot. Let me just put it all out there. And if the stump pain comes back, well, then I'm done.
Right. Then I'm going home. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Like something that, I'm saying, like something that's so extreme. That's why I'm using the stump pain. That forces you, that you cannot.
You made it relatable.
Yes.
And you made it smart as always, so there you go. Okay, Andy, you're going to tell me you don't remember Back to the Future Part 2.
Well, it wasn't TOO, but yes, you're right.
What? What is my...
I would have rathered if you wrote toe. You don't remember Back to the Future Part 2?
Part 2. But then what's my mother saying?
My.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, I hope she's okay. Like she started typing something. Yeah, from
My hip!
the Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail. Well, you wouldn't write.
Right.
You would say it.
Well, maybe her next comment will be Sharona.
True.
That would be awesome.
I love that. Like Jeff's been out of the game so long, Kelpie didn't know how to pronounce Bosie's name.
Yes, I thought the same
It's one of
thing.
that happened, and I was like, "Oh, this is hilarious! I can't wait to roast this motherfucker."
I mean, it's only been 3 months, but
Yeah.
he's already that far removed that
Yeah.
new people don't know how to say his name. And we were right to like kind of warn her to stay away from him.
No, Kelpie can take care of herself. That
Well,
girl is
true.
fucking fire. I love my Kelpie.
Yeah.
And now that she lives in my hometown, yeah,
I do think she's great. Her act is fantastic. Yeah.
she's a good, and like outside of it and everything, like she's just like a really cool person.
Yeah, very. I liked her.
She's
She was
really
nice.
genuine, and
Down to earth. Yeah.
And I got to tell you, she's not even talking about like the whole, I'm so happy that you guys started talking about the mascotting thing, because I think that is so brilliant. Like her experience. And it's funny because if you're listening to what she's actually saying, you hear how serious she took it.
Oh yeah.
Like she uses a certain phraseology, and people be like, "Oh, mascotting." She's like, "Well," and we'll say something that's like, "Oh shit, that's super serious." Like Joe Winchell on his was like like trying to not even stump her. He just came up with a question, and he thought it was like something that's like unknowable kind of thing.
About mascotting?
Yes. And he goes, "Who's the original Phillies mascot?" And
Oh, she definitely knew that,
she
right?
busted it out like without missing a beat, and it was hilarious because Joe's like, "What? Like seriously? That's the guy's name?" She's like, "Yeah, I met him a couple of times, and
Right.
like, he was at a camp that I went to."
I was going to say she went to freaking mascot
and
camp.
she was a camp counselor at the mascotting camp.
Well, that's the
love
thing.
that.
I mean, I don't know. Like you said, people hear mascot and they laugh.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I mean, it's like anything else. It's hard freaking work.
It
And
is.
it's a lot of work. And I don't know why anybody would think otherwise. You're not just running around like an idiot.
Well-
There's just, you got to do certain things, and you're entertaining. You got to be funny.
The worst part is when people are take it seriously like you are. No, I'm like, no, it's true. I'm always fascinated at the minutia of things, like in bartending when we would, like, it's very true that we don't know your name for the most part. And if one of us knows
I
your
just
name,
got that.
maybe somebody else does. And we go, Nick Rogers was really on fire tonight, huh? With being all hammered and everything. And you're like, who the fuck is Nick Rogers? And I'd be like, Miller Lite, shot of JMO.
Right.
Oh, he was sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he moved over. Yes. Okay. I know who you're talking about. Like, fuck your name.
Right.
Like, it's a minutia thing. Or my other favorite thing, minutia from bartending, was when customers are like, "Hey, Andy, it's nice. Hey, Andy, could you get me a beer, Andy? And maybe a shot, Andy. You want to do the shot also, Andy? We'll get one for you." Like, they want you to know. It's like demons. Knowing a demon's name, you have control over it. Like, they think that, yeah, I get it. You know my fucking name, guy. Like, calm down.
Or maybe they're just a geek who want to be your friend.
Not in the bar business, man. It's not how that works.
Not the bar.
No, you got to be somebody who's a late night person, especially here in New York. They got to change the blue laws here. They got to go back to. They got to make it like other places where bars have to close at 2 a.m. I know that sounds fucked up, but to be honest, I think you'll actually get more people out because you go earlier. I've been other places.
What is it now? 4 still?
It makes you live outside of society. It like I can't tell you how awkward it is to like go to the DMV when you're bartending, or go to Walgreens and then you see a regular and you're just like, it's the weirdest.
Really?
Because you're not really a part of regular society. Like, you shouldn't be at Walgreens. You shouldn't be at the
It's
DMV.
like skiing. Don's brother, Greg, who passed away a couple of years ago, he was a school teacher.
Right.
And I remember he had this great story of going to an Ozzy concert and one of his students spotted him.
Yeah, that's odd, but that's like there's like a logical inevitability to that. Seeing your bartender at Walgreens, and you're both picking up medication, and it's like, I wonder what Andy's on, and I'm like, I wonder what fucking Billy the Drunk is.
Right.
Because we have. Oh, that's the other thing. We have nicknames for all these people.
Who was it? Did you see?
No, I didn't.
Somebody peeked over, and I couldn't. It might have been. I think it was James. I'm not really sure.
Oh, interesting.
Insert comment here about Andrew dropping the science term.
Which one? Inevitability.
Yeah.
I'm just talking.
Speaking of science.
Science!
Blinded me with science. Did you hear about this lady in a diner? Where was it? Down in D.C., I think it was?
No.
So this is a couple weeks ago. This woman, she fainted in a diner, and I don't remember why, but it turned out she was okay. But
It's because she did a parry and thrust. Faint parry thrust.
Yeah, that one.
So it's for all you fencing fans. That's a fencing joke. For all you fencing fans,
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Andy's going to do a fencing podcast. Andrew F. said mass.
Oh.
Well,
if it's not me, then I don't care.
This woman passed out in a diner, so they started looking to see if there was a doctor in the house. So there was a doctor in the house.
And what's up, Doc?
Yeah, but there was one. And I can't imagine this woman, how she must have felt when she woke up to find Dr. Fauci over her, taking care of her. I think I would have fainted
Fauci
again.
lies! Fauci! Like, imagine she's a fucking, like, anti-vaxxer.
Right.
Oh, that would be so great.
That would have been funny. But it would have freaked me out. Like, I would have thought I must have some kind of, disease that, like, I'm the source and I'm being quarantined. Or if I wake up and I see Fauci watching over me. And then to make the story even weirder, the same time, Fauci's, like, he took care of the woman, they took her in an ambulance, he went back to eating, or, back to his friends. Another woman faints in the diner. So then, if I'm in that diner, I'd be like, Fauci spreading something,
and
we're all gonna die.
none of Fauci's friends are doctors? I feel like if he's out with his friends,
I don't know.
Like
I don't
that
know.
Somebody else isn't a doctor there?
I don't know. I don't know who he was with.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like
he could have been there by himself, for all I know.
But, like, he's like, I took care of the last one.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You
come
go.
on, guys. Like,
But she's choking.
you're famous, though.
Right.
This is going to be a story for her. Otherwise, what's it going to be, a fucking story that she fainted in the fucking diner to begin with? Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I created this whole universe where Fauci's friends are dicks. And he's just trying to eat lunch.
He seemed like he was on, was it Fallon? Or
Right.
Kimmel, where they were walking around the city and stuff?
All I know, like, I do have family members in medical
medical field.
fields, and that more than one have kind of not necessarily directly run into him, but peripherally run into him.
Like they saw him down the hallway?
Kind of, or they were at a conference, or they got an email that he was on and whatever, or they sent an email that ended up going to him, kind of thing, and like he's just like another person,
Right.
like that's like it's just like this, like when people get angry at the Oscars, they're industry awards.
Yes.
Why do you care? Like,
Yep.
it's interesting to see what people in the industry think is the best, but everything's subjective.
There are people who, like, Yeah, there are people who take that seriously. To some people, that's more important than the Super Bowl.
Well, they'll be but that they'll be angry. I think more of the people that give up on watching it, like, well, you care about it because you're angrily posting, and I'm pointing because there are people on this chat that have posted things about this sort of thing. But
Fremder?
No.
Oh.
And
Ken Pichel?
No.
Jeff Bosey?
Yes.
Oh.
Where you get angry at something that you don't like. Nobody fucking. It's like the plumbers. What about the plumber awards?
There should be plumber awards.
Well, maybe there are.
We were. I don't know if you were a part of things yet in here or not. Back in the beginning of our show when Eric was still here.
Back in the beginning.
He wanted to do the Govies.
Yeah, no, that was.
You remember that? I thought it was a fun idea, but I thought it was I liked the thought of it. I didn't like the way he wanted to roll it out. I felt as long as everybody's getting some kind of recognition, then it's okay.
Right.
Because he wanted it to be nominees and voting, and it was still in the thought stages.
Yeah.
We never got past the discussing stages. And it already became a piss fest behind the scenes.
Yeah, no.
In fact, yeah. So you were around because I remember because he still
because we
left.
wanted to start doing the Deadpool and hang it on the.
I still
the
wanted
wall.
to do the Deadpool. Yeah, he killed that one. He didn't like the idea.
He didn't like it because he and I were doing. We actually sat there and he started writing it and he pinned it.
But then he was the one that then pulled it.
Oh, he was the one.
Yeah, he changed his mind because I wanted to keep that going. But
well, the Govies. Here's my thought on the Govies. It should be resurrected, but
yeah.
Not even a show. It's just that like any kind of introduction or like any host or whatever can be like, the Hershey and the Keegs podcast, winner of 3 Govies in a row. Like something that's so like, like a credit that doesn't actually exist kind of thing. And so it could be embellished and it could be like the all-time winningest Govie award program, Knock 'em Dead Comedy.
So... Well, like I said, it did. It became, and Eric had left while the idea was still floating around. I inherited the pissing match it became, and he was gone. In fact, I don't even think I ever told him what a pissing match it became. And again, it never went beyond, discussions. And I was like, once the pissing match started, I was like, forget it, I'm not doing this. But But one thing that Eric did that I liked. He put together a Christmas get-together for all the shows we had at the time, where we just attended. We basically just got Govs to give all the hosts tickets, and we all came one night. And whoever was hosting, I think it was Truson actually was hosting, where he mentioned us and we all cheered. And so maybe we should do something like that, and we give out maybe we get stickers or pins or something. The Govies
aggrandizing at a comedy show,
so that way we give out something like that. We acknowledge all the shows somehow, so that way they can come in here and say Hershey and the Keegs, winner of 3 Govies in a row.
I say just
give it to them. Just ask them to start saying.
Just say to everybody like, this is going to be a thing. If you want to make it a thing, you can make it a thing. If you don't want to make it a thing,
you know what I'm going to do? And I mean, we're talking about it here on the air, but. I'm just going to name maybe one show a month. Congratulations to the Why You Like This podcast latest winner of the Govies.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, we had our annual Govies ball. And there's too many winners to announce right now, but we'll announce them as they come up. Just whatever. Like it and you know what, cuz there's always going to be some idiot. And I already have the person that I think would have been in that earlier iteration that would have been like, wait, when did everybody get their Govies? Why didn't I get mine?
Yeah, and
even though it would be well known.
Who you're talking about. Yeah,
somebody who should have saw it coming.
Yes.
Is probably the best way to say it.
Yes, absolutely right.
I don't understand.
So, yeah, I'm just going to. Yeah, I'm not even going to mention a red carpet. Or a ceremony. I'm just going to congratulations.
Red carpet. I hope the drapes matches the carpet, if you know what I mean.
Didn't on Lucy Ball. Best unpaid unofficial intern, Ed, man. Oh, well.
Oh, sorry. You lost again, Ken. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. He's the Susan Lucci of
Exactly.
Governor's Podcast.
No, Ken could win. Yeah, that's a good idea. So I'll get the awards to the shows first, and then I'll start doing stuff like that. Best unpaid, unofficial intern ad man, and best guest with bad jokes, best stalker whose call we never answer.
You get a Govey. You get a Govey. Everybody gets a Govey.
Everybody eventually get one. Best retired comedian who still lingers. He gets a Govey.
Who's that?
Bosie.
Oh. Oh, you said comedian. Oh, wow. Okay.
Susan Lucci won at least once.
Yeah,
but didn't she go 13 years before she won
more
something?
than 13 years. It was like 20 years.
Oh, was it?
It was unnaturally a long time.
Deservedly so. I met Susan Lucci once. She was a bitch. When I worked at the phone company, we had an emergency job on her street. We were actually pretty much right in front of her house, actually. And this was, 25, 30 years ago. This is when everything was still wires. And you had to, the way Verizon was, well, it probably wasn't even Verizon yet, but the way the phone company was doing it back then, you would actually find the exact spot on the wire, on the cables where the trouble is, and they would, cut the wires and fix it. You wouldn't replace the whole cable.
Right, yeah.
So we would, if the cables were underground, in fact, that was the department I worked in. You jackhammered, you dug to the exact spot, you did all the road construction, and then the maintenance guys would come in and work on the wires. So that's what we were doing in front of her house. We were, taking the road up. And, man, she would come out yelling and screaming several times. At one point, her husband came out. Seemed like a very nice guy. Just wondering, guys, how much longer? Do you have any idea?
I'm living with the fucking devil over here.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. So he's talking to us. She comes out again to start yelling at us some more. But then she started yelling at him right in front of us.
Oh, man.
Why are you talking to these men?
Cool.
What are you doing? Get back in the house. And we're all, and you can see all over his face, he's looking at, like this guy was defeated. This guy, I hope.
Kind of like you.
Exactly. The agony of defeat. That's right.
Lack thereof.
The agony of defoot. I hope this guy just went into some room where he got to count his
killed
half.
Himself?
No, I hope he got to count his half of her money.
Yeah, his half of her money.
And then went and spent it on a hooker.
No, because you kill yourself because it ruins the place for her. Now she's got to move, and then problem solved for everybody.
Or bang a hooker on her bed, and that ruins the place for her.
Well, she might be into that.
She probably is, because she's probably like, don't touch me. I'm Susan Lucci. Don't touch me.
I love how you've created this whole thing based on this one interaction.
She was nasty. It wasn't like she was nasty and came out later, calmed down and nice. She was nasty to us several times that day. She's nasty. Screw her. Bitch. Damn it. Best IRS Texan with a good heart against domestic incidences. Who's he talking about? Carol? Carol's only Texan. Or Mark White? Award for person that talks so much that Tony can't read certain comments. Susan Lucci went 19 years before she won.
That's it. I knew it was like it was just short of 20. That was the big deal. It was the 20th year when she actually won. And it was like, oh, it only took 20 years.
You see, Fremder, my friend just killed himself. I shouldn't have told him to hang in there. Oh, my goodness.
Billy has a great suicide joke, which is basically suicide. It's kind of like hitting a parked car. Like, I don't know what to do. I feel like I should stay, but you know what? I think I'm just going to write a note and get out of here.
I tried to get Billy to come in here today.
Oh, well, yeah. I didn't even think I had such a bad night, so it was. I was going to call him too, but did he not respond? Or
no, he said no.
Oh, okay. Possibly because he's on the show tonight, and I know he likes to
prep.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's he really puts himself into his performance. Like, I don't want to, without being too pretentious and whatnot. Like, he really does. Comedy is his life.
Yes,
truly. So,
best friend of Gov's bass player. Best friend of Gov's bass player. Who's that?
I'm not getting these. You're
not seeing those comments?
No.
That's weird.
Maybe it's back.
IRS texting was the prank call with Derek and Sally. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I hope Ken gets the award. It's been a long recovery since he had ads. Oh, my goodness. Best friend of Gov's
good.
bass player. I don't get that one. Who's a Gov's bass player?
Well, I think he's talking about Mark White.
Oh, that's Mark White? Oh, well, he's not a Gov's bass player.
But whoever the best friend of
Me.
him, which might be Sally, is what I'm guessing
Probably
his
Sally.
thing is.
I still, to this day, have no idea. It was one of the times Mark was here, and Sally and I took him out. We took him to Bella Vista Pizza, our old advertiser.
Oh, neat. I hear
And
they
then-
have gluten-free there.
Right, probably. So and then when we left, I went home. Sally and Mark didn't show up at the house for another 3 hours.
Nice.
And to this day, I have no idea where they were.
Tony doesn't know. Tony doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
Oh, that's not a Spin Doctor
From
song.
Euro Trip. No, it's Matt Damon sings it about the main character. And
Singles?
no, again, Euro Trip.
Oh, that's the name of the movie?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Did you
It's
see?
a very good teen comedy, teen sex comedy.
Did you see? Speaking of Matt Dillon, I just saw a trailer for a new movie he's in. What the hell's the name of this movie?
Oh, Air with Ben Affleck?
No. Is he in that too?
Yep.
No, that's Matt Damon.
Oh, who are you
We're talking about Matt Dillon.
Oh, Matt Dillon.
Didn't you say Matt Dillon when you were talking about Eurotrip?
Damon.
Oh, I thought you said Dillon.
Nope, Damon.
Oh, well, I'm talking about Matt Dillon. He's in some movie.
Stream of Consciousness Friday.
Tom Hanks is in it. Steve Carell is in it. There's a ton of people in it. Who's the weird dude that made? He's Talia Shire's son, and he makes a lot of these weird movies. And he had that TV show with Zach Galifianakis, which I thought was hilarious, and Ted Danson.
Oh, Jason Schwartzman?
Jason Schwartzman. Thank you. It's him. He's got a new movie, and all
I
these
love
guys
Jason
are in.
Schwartzman.
Yeah, Rushmore. I love that movie.
Nice OR. Oh, no, you guys, I'm glad you showed up to eat in your pajamas. They're OR scrubs. Oh, are they? That's one of the best lines in that movie.
Absolutely. The TV show with him and Zach Galifianakis and Ted Danson. Did you ever see that show? Bored to death.
It was on HBO, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Hilarious.
I saw a couple episodes
Oh,
when I was
I
with people
love that show.
at rich people's houses.
Yes. But yeah, so he's got this new movie out. It looks like his weirdest movie yet. But it looked like, as soon as I watched this, I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I got to see
He's
this.
also in a band. He's a drummer in
Yes.
a band that actually that song California, Here We Come. He's and it was, I think, the OC. It was the theme for the OC.
Oh, really?
Dun, 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 dun.
You're up on your OC, huh?
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. No, I've never seen actually the OC. I wouldn't be able to pick anybody out of a lineup from that show either.
I mean,
Even though I'd want to.
Ken Pichel's
He did it. That one did it.
Still doing the ads. Bella Vista Pizza. They have deep dish, thin crust, whole wheat, and gluten-free crusts.
I knew there was gluten free.
Welcome to Asteroid City or something. It's something weird like that is the name of this movie, but it looked weird. But I can't wait to see it. Speaking of movies, I saw Creed 3 the other day.
How was it?
I liked it.
It's, you know what? Those are three now movies that I'm like, I really want to see these, but
As in 3 movies, as in Creed 1, 2, and 3?
yeah.
Oh, you haven't
'Cause
seen
I've
any
never
of them?
seen any of them.
2 was a little weak. The first one I liked.
Usually twos are weak because they're bridging you.
Yeah, true. Although 2 had a good ending.
That's why Empire Strikes Back is amazing because
I don't mean to interrupt, but you said
that was very aggressive. Okay.
So aggressive, things are falling and crashing. The Empire Strikes Back. Did you see what's going on in New York City? There's a new live show. It's a burlesque show. What's with the eyes?
I can't help it. It's a condition.
The Empire.
Did you not fucking make me feel bad for a medical condition I have?
Yeah. I thought you were having a stroke.
That would be that would be a horrible medical condition. That's your tick.
And people just get mad at you all the time.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. It's a medical. It's a medical condition.
It's a burlesque
Are
show.
you insulting my intelligence? No.
The Empire Strips Back.
Oh, I'm for it.
It looks hilarious. It's
Yeah.
Stormtroopers, Princess Leia in that outfit
Bikini,
from
yeah.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
One of my favorite factoids about, I love Carrie Fisher. I really do. The more you learn about Carrie Fisher, I think you can't help but like have a tremendous amount of respect for her.
the ultimate rock star.
Truly, and just one of the smartest people to ever walk the earth, and outside of science fields, like in the arts, just a genius
in the arts.
Because I mean, she was a script doctor. Like, could you imagine? I would love to know a list of movies that were made funnier
Yeah.
because of Carrie Fisher.
Yep.
But one of my favorite things is a story that you tell about the first Star Wars and the outfit that she's wearing. And she was 19 or whatever, and she's like, I'd really rather wear a bra underneath this white. And George Lucas said, in space, women don't have to wear bras. That might be the best creeper line ever.
Yeah. He gets a Govey.
Yeah, no, that's Govey worthy. Honorable
Govey-worthy.
mention because he's never actually worked here. So
Yeah, but we've spent plenty of time talking about his movies, so it's an honorable mention. What's Vicky saying bullshit to?
probably the creeper line. Like, of course, right? No, that's the point. The bullshit point is the point. Is the punchline essentially?
Or are you saying bullshit? This story isn't true.
Well, but yeah, she had to use two-way tape so they wouldn't be going all over the place.
Is that right? Is that what she ended up doing?
I also like listening to Paul Simon tunes and imagining I actually was married to Carrie Fisher. Like what? I met you at the cinematographer's party. That one's all about them meeting. Yeah. Huge. Actually, I told the girls. When I die, the last song to be played is "Why Deny the Obvious Child."
Oh.
With that whole big African drum sound.
Yes.
And I love the song. The Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes with the Homeless version of the beginning. Homeless. With the Lady Smith Black.
Mambanzo.
Lady Blacksmith.
Black Mambanzo.
No. I'm trying to think of the name of the band.
Yeah. Lady Smith Black Mambanzo.
Oh, Mabanza? I didn't realize that. Because they're actually, if you ever see the Weemaway, speaking of stream of consciousness, the Weemaway documentary, that was like a Frontline or whatever. I'm throwing out my PBS creds here, people.
Lady Smith Black Mambazo.
Oh, okay. Lady Smith Black. Like, I just always kind of went with the Lady Smith Black people. Which I'm guessing that's what Mambazo means is people. In their language.
Sure.
But the Weemaway thing, how they worked really hard to get money for the family. Especially the lead singer guy was like they pressed and they were a big part of why Disney, which is so weird that it ends up being Disney. And it actually, like, I know they kind of got guilted into it, but they came in and just bought the property. You know what I'm saying? To use in Lion King, the lion sleeps.
Well, all right.
tonight.
Well, but backtrack. So, Lady Smith Black Mambazo went after Disney to pay whoever sang that song to get paid.
They were in the fight for so long. They were in it before Disney bought the property.
So the person or people that sang that song originally,
right, which
didn't get much royalties. So
well, right, exactly.
Lady Smith Black Mambazo come out of nowhere.
Not out of nowhere. Like, that's what I'm saying. You got to watch the. See, this is like the lady who burned herself with coffee, right? And McDonald's and sued McDonald's.
Yep.
Where it's like people only get to hear like parts of it, but it like
No, McDonald's was wrong.
They were totally wrong.
They were totally wrong.
And she was originally only asking for like a few $100s to help her out with medical bills.
Right, and they said no.
It's kind of mind-blowing. But this is sort of like the same thing where we only check in sometimes. The original was this guy in Jersey whatever the name of the band was that did the Lion Sleeps Tonight.
The Tokens, I think.
The Tokens,
I
the
think.
lead singer of the Tokens, who he believes he wrote it.
Okay.
But the thing is there's a recording of Weemaway that predates that by like a year.
Okay.
And it's originally this guy and his family
Ooh,
were
I was
just
right,
like
the Tokens.
in poverty, just abject poverty.
Really?
And so they went after whoever the publisher was, the
Okay.
music publishing company, and they just for years hid behind shit and wouldn't acknowledge this family. And then finally, it was when Disney bought it, and that's why you kind of got to give Disney a little bit of props there, because they could have just kept carrying out the same fight that the publishing, like, hey, listen,
Right.
we just bought this. Like, you should still be going after those people. But the Weemaway song is actually better than The Lion Sleeps Tonight.
Originally written and recorded by Solomon Linda
There you
under the title of Umbaway.
Weemaway.
No, M-B-U-B-E.
Weemaway.
There's no W.
Weemaway, because the M and the B.
Weemaway, M-B-U-B-E. M-boob.
M-B-U. We.
Yeah, South African Gallo Record Company, 1939.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it predates it by more than even.
The original was written in isiZulu. I-S-I-Z-U-L-U. isiZulu.
In South Africa, with the language,
Yeah.
the dialect.
The song had been adapted and covered internationally by many pop artists. It was recorded as Weemaway by the Weavers in 1951.
There you go.
So I'm sticking with M-boob. Weemaway, W-I-M-O-W-E-H. Weemaway by the Weavers in 1951. And then other artists who've recorded it include NSYNC, Henry Salvador, Carl Denver, Jimmy Dorsey, Yima Sumac.
That's why they went after the publisher.
Right. So then in 1961, a version adapted into English with the title The Lion Sleeps Tonight by the doo-wop group The Tokens became a #1 hit in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The whole story of Solomon Linda is heartbreaking. And I want to say that, like, it's his grandchildren that got the money. I think his last child died before. It's heartbreaking.
It became a hit, and Solomon Linda became a star throughout South Africa.
South Africa.
By 1948, the song had sold over 100,000 copies in Africa. It also gave the name to a style of African a cappella music that evolved in isicathamiya, also called mboob, popularized by Lady Smith Black Mambazo. So this guy in 1949, Alan Lomax, he worked for Decca Records. He bought the record by Solomon Linda.
Not from Solomon Linda or from the fucking company. He bought the record.
Oh, no, I take that back. Sorry, he brought the record
Right.
to the attention of Pete Seeger and the folk group The Weavers. So then the Weavers... Oh, so Pete Seeger was a part of that? This is a very strange story.
Oh, it's far and reaching.
Yeah.
And that's why it's crazy that the dial stopped on Disney. And they're the only ones out of everybody that stepped up and
So
did
the
right
Weavers credited the song as traditional,
Right.
with arrangement by Paul Campbell. Paul Campbell turned out to be a fake person.
thing. Right.
The Weavers did that on purpose so they can claim all the royalties. My goodness.
Oh, it's terrible. And
Pete Seeger, you son of a bitch.
they're not even talking about the abject poverty that Solomon Linda ended up in and dying and not being able to provide for his family. Meanwhile, here's this worldwide gigunda hit
Right.
that fuck this guy.
And then Miriam Makeba in 1960 recorded the song, giving credit to a Jay Linda. So, yeah, this is...
You have to watching the documentary. I think it's a PBS like Frontline or something like that, and it might be titled like Weemaway or the Lion Sleeps Tonight or something along those lines. I saw it years ago.
So once this Solomon Linda started getting wind that all this was going on,
Right.
Pete Seeger sent Linda $1,000. My goodness.
So Pete Seeger ends up being the only white dude in this lineage of white dudes taking advantage of this to try to do anything.
So because of The Lion King, that song earns $15 million just from The Lion King.
Right.
So that prompted a filmmaker to make the documentary A Lion's Trail.
There you go.
This guy made nothing.
It's I mean it's the Van Gogh thing, like you totally like.
But there is some kind of
after you
family.
die.
There is some kind of family that's still around. They
Yeah.
sued Disney for $1.6 million.
Yep.
And then some other organization started to pay $3,000 annually to Linda's estate.
Right, but then Disney settled.
Right. And then they settled and so the earnings went into a trust. They're not saying how much. But Disney got the rights to the license of the song.
So it's flat out. It's clean now. It's
Right.
Finally, that song
But
is
it
clean.
kind of stinks that Disney got the licensing for very cheap.
Yeah, but they took care of the I mean, truly, if the guy had truly been paid market value at the time, probably would have everything.
Yeah.
It would have ended up the same way.
True.
So it's
You're
actually
absolutely right
nice
about
that it actually kind of works out in a generational wealth kind of perspective for his family.
Okay.
You got to watch the thing because
Yeah, I might watch that
It
thing.
is heart wrenching.
Heart-wrenching.
Yes.
So you're playing tonight. Does that mean you have to stay home tomorrow? You can't come out and play?
Well, tomorrow we're leaving Saturday after art class, the girls' art class
heading
for Myrtle Beach.
Andy might not be here next Friday.
It's possible.
Very sad.
C'est possible.
I asked because we're doing live from Governor's Green Room
Oh,
tomorrow
I know.
night.
I hired Jim Florentine and all that.
He already, I contacted him. He said he'll be here. He wrote
I
back.
know. I-
Very excited.
With everything that you've super disappointed. I'm like, can we leave Sunday?
The first thing I think would ask him, do you ever go on like a porn site? Like he doesn't do porn, but once in a while you come across like these weird like game shows or interviews or weird shit on porn. Well,
Wow.
compared to the other stuff,
Well,
I
I'm
guess
gonna
it's not
find out.
weird.
I'm gonna find out what Tony searches for.
He's in some like thing where he's a judge with these porn stars, like they're not doing anything sexually. They're just like answering questions. And
Why
he's
the
one
fuck
of the
would anybody want to watch that?
Well, granted, but it's funny to see him because he's sitting there with this little grin on his face, like he's probably so excited to be around all these porn stars. So that's the first thing I'm asking him about tomorrow. And if he hears this, he might not show up.
Oh, well, you're lucky then.
Vicky is heading out. Have an awesome weekend. You too, Vicky. Thanks a lot. I'm scared to read Fremder, especially when we're talking about African American people.
It's too much. He's written too much.
Well, Fremder, his last comment there reminded me of something. Did you see what's going on with Ace Frehley and Paul Stanley of Kiss?
I heard the interview on Howard Stern, so I know that there is friction. It was interesting to hear their perspective of like why they didn't play at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. Which is also like, wow, like, yeah, but you wouldn't be where you were when you took on those guys without those other guys. Like you have to acknowledge that.
Absolutely right.
Like yes, they are part of the band, and you
I
love these guys more than you love them.
Right, and that's fine. Nobody would argue that. And I'm pissed they didn't play at the Hall of Fame. I was there. I wanted to see Kiss play. Instead, I saw the E Street Band take almost an hour to accept their awards, which was boring as fuck. And Hall & Oates played 3 songs, but for some reason decided to do like Grateful Dead type jams at the end of each song. So each song was like 8 minutes long. It's like, what the hell, you guys? You're a pop band. You could have played 3 more songs if you kept to the original length. Sons of bitches. But I did see Bonnie Raitt sing Blue by You, which gave me a hard-on for 3 days. Bonnie Raitt is so damn sexy. I don't care that she's like probably 80 years old. She's still sexy to me.
You know who I have that for is Emmylou Harris.
Yes, her, and she was there for that too.
I have this like
Yes,
deep,
she's beautiful.
like
Beautiful woman.
Like she's not my hall pass because, yeah, if I ever had the shot, everything's over.
So it was when they were inducting Linda Ronstadt into Hall of Fame. She obviously wasn't there. She has health issues. Carrie Underwood, Emmylou Harris, Bonnie Raitt, Stevie Nicks, and Sheryl Crow, who is my hall pass.
Nice.
But 5 of some of the sexiest women in rock and roll,
Right.
all up on that stage singing these Linda Ronstadt tunes, which if you don't like Linda Ronstadt, well, there's something wrong with your brain. She's like the Beatles. She's got at least 3 songs that you will like.
But doesn't
She's
she
a tremendous
just always
singer.
cover everybody else's songs?
No.
That's really all how I know her is that she's like every song that I've ever heard is like Blue Bayou
Okay.
was a remake.
Yeah.
Name-
Tumbling Dice. That's a Stone song.
There's so many like any
Different
song I've
Drum
ever heard.
wasn't a cover. It wasn't written by her, but it was given to her.
Now, see, that's I just have a like. So in my mind, there's a hierarchy of the arts,
Okay.
and then within each of the arts, there's a hierarchy as well. And this is going to sound terrible, and it's not that I disparage them, but I do truly have mad respect for dancers. Dancing is the lowest level of the arts in my mind. In
Okay.
the hierarchy.
Okay.
Now, it is integral and very important to be there. The reason is you cannot have dance without music. Therefore, that gives music more of an importance
Okay.
than dance in my mind. Like I said, a hierarchy. They're all there. They're all important. They're all great. But if you need one without another, see, movies are a higher art because they take all of them
Right.
and use them. And that's why like to me movie making is sort of above music because it uses music.
Mm-hmm.
It uses motion or dance. It uses acting. It uses
But shouldn't the
writing.
music be above it because a certain scene might not be as good without the music?
Yeah, but
Where music can be just put out by itself.
right, but then it's not going to nearly have the strength.
Right. Okay.
The music is important because it is put in that scene.
Right.
Is it important on its own? Yes, but it attains a higher level of importance. It elevates. Movie making elevates all of the other arts by including all of them.
Right.
Acting is not nearly as high as writing or music. Writing and music are sort of like way up there.
But I'm going to disagree because, and there you go. Which I agree, you need the writing, of course, but if the writer is not a good actor or a good singer, that song isn't going to go on that, or that play or that movie is not going to go as far.
Yeah, but but you see, you're immediately going straight to movies. Like
I'm
writers
saying-
write books, and that's what like.
A screenwriter, then.
Well, I'm saying the arts, and so writing has to be its own thing. It can't be
Okay,
that
all right, you're
screenwriting
right.
is
I got you.
screenwriting is a part of writing.
Yeah.
But that's why writing is higher than acting, because an actor, if he does not have a script, an actor cannot act. Now, there is improv, but that
Right.
is a very niche, and very few people can actually do it well. I don't give a fuck. Like
No, I agree.
Like the people who think that they do improv all the time. It's not what we're talking about. It's not what I'm talking about anyway. Writing, writ large, is more important than acting because an actor needs the words. They need
Okay.
they need that thing.
But-
It has to do with what is important for other things to happen.
But getting back to the original thing, Linda Ronstadt, certain songs wouldn't have been heard or wouldn't have done as well if she didn't sing it.
In theory, yes.
Or and I'll even take.
I'm not saying that there aren't good actors and there aren't good
Right. No, I get
singers.
that.
Like
Well,
that's-
I'm saying everybody does. I think I think everybody deserves equal credit. It's a team effort.
That's what I'm saying.
Who?
I'm not saying that credit. I'm not talking about credit, and especially when you talk about a movie. That's why to me, movie is the highest because it uses
Right.
all of them together.
Right. Well, I'm not talking about credit either. I'm just saying none can happen without the other, and that goes for all
Well, no,
of it.
because writing, you can write a book, like writing.
Yeah, but it still won't be a book. A book may not be as popular if it didn't become
Yes,
a movie.
but an actor is worthless without the writing. Literally worthless. Name an actor you don't like.
Oh, there's plenty.
Right. They would be nothing without writing. Literally, you would not know who the fuck they were without the writing. And then, of course, writ large, the movie making.
Unless, all right, take a guy who in his prime, Tom Cruise, all the women loved him in his prime. If
He's worthless
but
without
maybe,
the writing.
But maybe because women loved him so much, he could have just gotten paid for standing there.
Probably. That's probably all he would have been paid for. But the writing is what put him over. Like anybody,
you're right. Yeah.
any actor that you like, Robert De Niro, the writing, he's a great actor. Of course he is. But if he did not have the lines to say,
Right.
he's just this fucking cab driver in fucking Lower Manhattan.
Talking to me.
Right. You want me to drop you on the left side of the street?
That was genius.
Like, I just had the best cab ride.
That guy was
That
amazing.
cabbie deserves an Oscar, which doesn't exist because we don't have acting. But you know, is that like I understand it is a difficult mind exercise to go through because I've been struggling with this for most of my life.
It's okay. Don't struggle, Andy.
Nah.
It's all right.
The Lamaze breathing tends to help. But yeah, music, I tend to have a lot of respect for music.
Well, right. I mean, again, getting back, that's how this started. Linda Ronstadt, her voice on certain songs, you can't top that.
But who is more authentic, Roger Daltrey or Pete Townsend?
Right. That's why I mentioned them a minute ago, because that's a tough one for me. Pete Townsend writes great songs.
He needs somebody to, yes.
Roger
because
Daltrey
he can't
interprets those songs like nobody else
he can't
can.
do it himself.
Right.
But Roger Daltrey, if Pete Townsend had sang the songs, it would have been just like, these are
It wouldn't have
good,
been
but
a big-
they're not great. But Roger
Right.
Daltrey would just be like,
Yeah.
there's nothing for him to do without
Right.
people like Pete Townsend. Therefore, to me, the authenticity, in the hierarchy, writers and musicians get the highest. Singers, people who interpret other people's work, great.
Yeah.
You have talent. I appreciate the talent, but there is something less authentic than the person who actually writes.
Let's hang on a second. Andrew Fremder says, "Let me break it down for you two.
Okay.
Just listen to epic music with no words, and you can create your own story in your head. It's different for everyone. Enjoy your journey."
Yeah, but you can also read a book that takes you that's why I say they are very much close to each other, writing and music, because you can have one without the other. Well, I mean, if you want to say write music,
Right.
but I'm making the differentiation that writing music, they are sort of the same thing in a way, but mastery of a instrument ends up, to me, trumping somebody who's just writing.
Fremder says, "I didn't know I was going to have to know about science to understand music." Well, I think he's just getting snarky with you.
No, it's actually, but there is. It's matter of fact, it's primarily math. Most of the music is math.
And Ken Bichelle brings up a good point. This episode of KDC wouldn't be the same without both of y'all. He's right. Yeah. Because this is a well-crafted, well-written.
No, there's symbiosis, but there's also art forms that can stand on their own. And when they can stand on their own without any of the other ones, then to me, those are the most authentic. And in terms of this hierarchy, they are higher on the hierarchy. Because I feel so bad because I know so many people who are dancers that
Who you've just pissed off.
but I can't tell you how important dance is. I truly think we're talking about the arts, we're talking about things that are important. And for them to be the least of the most important in my mind anyway, I feel bad about it because I think like if people who put work and their heart into whatever, that's what's important to me. That, you know what, if you want to say anybody who's putting that kind of effort, I'm talking about just in terms of like trying to make sense of the universe around me. That like what do you need to like put together something that's truly moving? You need to be able to write, or you need to be able to be musical writing or write physical, just regular old writing. Those two are the most germane and important to all art.
Writing a book tells a story, but also looking at pictures in a book create your own story. I don't know if I agree with that.
No, they're forcing you to think of something with the pictures in the book. Like that, like a book just written without any pictures is, again, more authentic than a book that has pictures. Except Jenna Jameson's autobiography.
Ooh. Oh, I wouldn't mind checking that out. Everybody sees something different. So what I'm hearing Andy is saying is Billy Joel, Elton John.
Elton still writes with Bernie. Like they write together.
Yes.
Like I'm not saying like once you get into, as soon as the second you write, you're in that group. So it's not like if you write half, like I write the music, he writes the lyrics, like then it's we're splitting conteres.
My goodness.
I mean, if you're into that sort of thing.
Which Elton is not.
Right. And I'm not sure if that's what Ken is trying to say. Unless that is what you're trying to say. You're trying to split conteres, Ken? Is that
Elton said no to Billy Joel's Uptown Girl because what he really wanted was a Rocket Man. Well, that just shut us right up, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm you couldn't have done that 6 minutes from now?
Wow, that was a fast 90 minutes. Well,
that's what she said.
Yeah, right. Well, if it was 90 minutes, she'd just be happy. I would have done it when the show first started. Has anybody seen the sanitizer around here? Here it is. Hand sanitizer spray. So, safe trip.
Yeah, you too.
Oh, thanks. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, I just always say that.
Where am I going? Where am I going this weekend?
When people say get home safe, I always say you too.
You always say drive fast, take chances.
Yes, that's actually,
what do I got?
I've been trying to like slow down on that because it's like got to be a little too much with people being, all right.
Nothing. I'll be here tomorrow night.
See that? But that's the cool thing is
with Jim Florentine. Don Sill will be here, and I don't know who else. Who else is here tomorrow night? I don't know who's.
I know some people who are here tonight.
Right, yeah, Saliani, right? That's the Why You Like This podcast. They're doing a live show tonight here at Governor's. Tim and Carla and Rich and Mike Keegan, I know, is a part of that.
Allison Persky, Jen Snortland,
Kathy Arnold, Laura Patton.
Yeah,
very nice. I know Pete Bergen is here at the club this weekend. There's a General Hospital thing going on this weekend. Erica Rhodes tonight. Paul Elia. Let's see. So
the point is you got to get to the website.
That's right. Go to govs.com. Let's see. So tomorrow night in the Giggle Room. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Arnie Price.
Definitely list that one.
Stephen what?
Kelpie's on that show.
Oh, is she? All right, so that's good. Allison Chadwick.
Allison's good people.
Stephen Sane. Stephen Sane.
Stephen Sane.
Stephen Sane.
Insane. Think insane.
Okay,
Steve
my
Insane.
apologies. I didn't know that.
No, I know Steve when he started when he moved here from Colorado.
Bruce Lipsky.
Bruce is good people.
Keith Fitz, Kelpie, Fred Brooklyn, and Bonnie Scalisi.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
I think the Fred Brooklyn is the only one that I don't know on that list.
Yeah, I don't know most of these people. My apologies. But that's what's going on in the Giggle Room tomorrow night. I don't know who's going to be hosting for Jim Florentine or featuring or any of that stuff. But we'll be working hard to get some of those people in here.
And my hierarchy of the arts thing, I have a friend of mine, very good friend, who was a cheerleader, and I played football.
Kelpie.
And, well, yeah. And she and I got in a conversation once where I said that cheerleaders are not an integral part of the game.
Oh boy.
That the game can go on without cheerleaders, but cheerleaders, if there's no game, they have nothing to cheer for. And she got very upset at me or whatever. And we were such a shitty team when we had cheerleaders, like JV. We were so terrible. And about halfway through the season, though, some things changed. One of which was they made me a starting outside linebacker.
Nice.
And we tied against Riverhead 0-0. And Riverhead JV, Comstock JV, 0-0 tie. And I actually went up to her. We were so ecstatic that we did not lose. And I went up to her and I knelt down on the ground and I held her hand and I said,
Will you marry me?
cheerleaders are important.
Smart man.
Yes. So.
And you were forgiven?
At that point, yeah. No, I definitely did other things through the years that really screwed that up. But no, she was a really good friend. Like, well, I'll give you this story and then I'll be done. I just told it on St. Patrick's Day. We were sitting at the senior table in our high school. We were seniors, and everybody's around talking. And she and I just ended up in one of those. You just end up with somebody else, and you're like, we don't actually have a conversation to have. We're just like now facing each other, and I've always acknowledged this sort of thing, and it usually puts the other person at ease by doing that and whatnot. And she's like, I know, right? Nobody's paying attention to us. I'm like, yeah, this is really weird. I'm like, I bet you if I touched your tit, none of these people would
said
notice.
the same thing to me when we were starting the show.
I wanted to give you the backstory. And so she goes, they would notice. And I grabbed her tit for like 1/1000 and I took it off. And she was just like, and I'm like, listen, that wasn't sexual at all. I just needed to prove a fucking point to you.
The fact that I'm jerking off right now.
Right.
Yeah.
My penis is out and I've already come. But
yeah.
And she was just like, and then she goes, I don't know if I'm more upset that you just did that or that nobody fucking noticed.
But
nobody noticed.
But there was nothing. But she was not aroused in any way.
No, and I wasn't. And truthfully, I wasn't either. She's beautiful. I mean, but it was
I
like
should have grabbed her tit again.
No. I'm not disgusting like you. But like we've told the story throughout the years, and she like it's funny because it was like a real moment for her in understanding what her and our relationship was. To be like, no, Andy's the only guy that's not trying to fuck me, which I wasn't, because it was like she was like way out of my league and really cool person. So you either throw out the baby with the bathwater and you're like, well, I'll never do that or whatever, or you go, you know what? Fuck all that other stuff. Let's just be really good friends. Mm-hmm. So that's that story.
Wow, Fremder's really giving you a hard time.
He's on fire today.
Yeah. But
I hope you're on fire. You piece of shit.
Well, he's been down that road.
Knowing Fremder, I think probably me just saying that is probably the biggest laugh at home, as he's either on his whatever he is. That probably got him to laugh the most.
Yeah, I agree. Whoa, Fremder, I am denying that comment.
What does it say?
Denied. Can you see it?
Oh, I can't because I'm drunk.
I'll tell
see
you.
it in a minute.
Well, we're about to get off the air.
Oh, good.
Donversations tonight at 8:00 with Greg Kritikos.
Oh, really
That's gonna
nice.
be good.
What a really genuine person. People have their own opinions about him or whatever, but I like him. He's a very genuine dude.
Ken Pichel points out, Andy proves that men and women can be friends. That's a Carrie Fisher callback. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
When Harry met
Except
Sally.
you got to grab a tit. Right, Ken? Am I right?
Ken
Ken?
Ken will never agree to
Grabbing
that.
one, or not really two.
You're giving Ken a heart attack.
Heart something.
Donversations tonight, live from the green room tomorrow, and then we're back here on Monday. Who's here with me Monday? I don't think I have anybody. Tuesday, Hugh will be here.
No, I won't.
Travis Grant, and I don't know. Jay said he couldn't do February and March. So I don't know if he's returning this week. I did send him a
check with
message.
him. Don't demand. Don't tag him.
Oh no, I did. I said that. I go. Now that March is over, does that mean you're coming back this Tuesday? And then I wrote. I said I'm tagging you either way.
Right.
So hopefully that means Jay is here next Thursday. I do believe. I don't know what's going on with Brandon. I don't know if we're going to make Thursdays his day, but he's coming back next Thursday.
That would be cool. He's a good dude.
And then April 6th. When is that? Is that Thursday or Friday next week?
It's a Friday, I think, because I'm pretty sure.
No, I think that's
there's a
Thursday,
show.
actually.
Oh, maybe it is.
Rob White will be here.
Rob White.
Rob White will be here. And then Friday,
6 is the Thursday.
All right, so Thursday, I'll
I
have
may or
Brandon
may
and
not
Rob
end
White.
up being back.
Friday,
by then.
yeah, we may have Andy, we might not. So I'll have to. So Monday and Friday, I got to find people. Okay. Everybody have a great weekend. Ken Pichelle says his keyboard is locked up. All right.
You should pull on it. Get some sweet release.
We are out of here. Enjoy your weekend. Drinks, jokes, and storytelling with Mark Riccadonna and Richie Byrne coming soon. See ya.
Rob Bartlett, ladies and gentlemen.
Rob Bartlett. Rich Voss is here. Rich Voss.
Mark DeMeo right here. How about it, Mark DeMeo?
Jim Grumpier.
Carrie Carabas.
Chris Roach, everybody.
Chris Rowe. Lisa Lampanelli. How about it?
Lisa.
Yay! Richie Benavides.
Don Jameson.
Oh, yeah. The only Vanessa Hollingshead. How about it? Woo!
Rick Overton.
Yes, Rick Overton. Mr. Joey Cola. How about that?
Joey Cola is. Oh boy. He already forgot. He already forgot us on. That's how old he is. He was. Hey Joey.
Joey!
Well, I hear them, but I don't see them.
Joey!
Joey!
Yeah.
We're inside the china cabinet.
Well, look to your left, to your right, or wherever. I don't know. It's back.
Hey, we're on
There he
your
is.
computer.
Hey!
Oh, there you are.